What's happening, guys? Let's do a breakdown of UFC 281. We're here about to have some lunch, so I thought, hey, want to do a quick breakdown of these incredible fights, this incredible card. I'm going to be there in New York to watch this, so I cannot wait. Let's not waste any time and get straight into it.
Oh! Knockdown for Adesanya!
So I'm going to start off with, obviously we've got a few of the boys from City Kickboxing that are fighting, so I'll get into them. Carlos is fighting Nikolai. Probably not even going to try. Let me try and do this last name. I don't know, I'm not even going to bother with that one. But Carlos Ulberg, he showed where he's at his last couple of fights. I think first loss of his was good for him. He went back and really put the work in and worked on a lot of things. I've noticed his wrestling and grappling is getting so much better in that as well. And then now his control on the feet and his composure, fitness, all that type of stuff is on a whole nother level. So I'm expecting him to go out there and put on another good performance. His last one, he got a first round finish, I think it was. A good finish, he looked great. I'm expecting another dominant performance from Carlos Ulberg. So let's move on to Brad Riddell and Moicano. So this is a fight that I think is great for Brad. Obviously he's had a couple of tough fights. But this is a great fight for him, a good name in Moicano. Moicano is a seasoned fighter as well. He's good, he's no joke, but stylistically I think this is great for Brad Riddell. That boxing sort of style of Moicano, I think it's going to be an easy look that Brad's used to and going to be pretty comfortable. I don't think he's going to be, he's not very unpredictable in a sense where he can catch you with something you're not really expecting. Brad Riddell movement and his understanding game is just going to be too much. And I've had a couple of conversations with him and he's keen to go out there and obviously do work, you know what I mean? He really wants to change up a few things and, have a new mindset going into this, and he's hungry to get that win, you know what I mean? So I'm expecting him to go out there and put on a good performance, and I think this is a great fight to do it. Kind of like a boxing range. He's got good hands. You stand in front of him, you let him use his hands, he looks good, 1-2 slip, twos, that type of stuff, got a good jab, but that range is going to be a little bit hard for you to do work on a guy like Brad Riddell. He's going to be that little bit further, he's going to have that little bit more footwork, he's going to make you worry about kicks and other things. There's going to be a lot more happening before you get to use your hands. I think there's going to be big problems for Moicano to even start to get going. And as he's trying to get into a range he's comfortable with, he's going to start eating shots. I think Brad Riddell can even take this to the ground if he wants. Moicano obviously has some submissions, but Brad Riddell's a very strong dude, powerful dude, short, stocky, very strong. So I think this is a great fight for him. And I think you're going to see a big win from Brad Riddell.
Oh, big knee, and Jim Miller is out!
There's Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles. I think I might have stuffed that. I think it's a good fight for Dan. I don't think Claudio is a massive name, but he's obviously still a dangerous fighter. He's had some big wins. He likes to go for, we've seen some leg locks, some submissions, but unless you're, again, obviously with Islam, a lot of people are probably going to sit there and go, oh, what about Islam? Islam submitted a Dan Hooker. But yeah, Islam, very strong dude and got him in position. Obviously, it was a small camp and all that type of stuff for Dan. You ain't going to see that with this guy. No way. I think, and trust me when I tell you, I trained with, for my fight with Max, I did a bit of work with Dan Hooker. And it's funny because you're hearing people trying to say he's done. He ain't done. That's probably some of the best rounds I've ever had with him. He looked on fire. He put on a few extra kilos and was just chilling. Whether there was a new fire in the belly, because he was having fights back to back. And I don't know, maybe that time off really did something because he was on. I've never seen him be so on, and I was on. So I know when he's leveled up, and he looked like he was leveled up and he wasn't even in camp. So I'm expecting a great performance from Dan Hooker. I think his range is going to be too much. I think he's going to get a knockout on the feet. That's what I'm expecting because he's going to be pretty hard to take down. So Dan is going to be composed. He's going to make you pay. If you put yourselves and start attacking legs, he's going to fuck you up. Excuse my French. So I think that's a great fight for Dan Hooker, and I'm expecting a big win from Dan Hooker because again, he's not done. Let me just end it there. He is not done.
Don't hunt what you can't kill, baby.
But obviously we've got Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler. This is going to be a fun fight. They both love to fight on the feet. They both take risks on the feet. They're happy to fight the fight. I don't think she's going to go to the ground. If anyone needs to pursue the takedown, it's going to be Chandler, only if he's having trouble on the feet. So we know it's going to be exciting. Obviously, they want that title fight as well. I don't think, no offense to these guys, I think they had their chances. They got a bit more work to do to get a title shot. But I think stylistically, the way they fight, it's going to be these guys landing hands on the feet. Oh, right on time. Let me go get my food and we'll finish this. Where we were talking about Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler. Again, I think this is could be a dangerous fight for Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier's got better hands, better boxing, but he likes to throw his hands in front of you. Yeah, he wants to be in front. He will take risks. I feel like he can be very hittable as well. Well, not hittable, you know, I'm not trying to have shots at him, but I feel like a guy like Chandler who's gonna throw big shots over the top while you're trying to put hands together. Again, Dustin's got good combos. He lets his hands go, but I feel like he can leave himself exposed there. I guess against someone like Chandler, big shots coming over the top as he's bridging in, explosively coming in with big shots. I think he can tag Dustin. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think early Chandler's going to be very dangerous. Once Dustin starts, because he's showed that he can get better as the fights go. Getting good reads and, you know, and then because his cardio can hold up and then start making people pay later in the fight. So I think that could be the case with Chandler. I think Chandler's going to be very dangerous early. If he doesn't catch Dustin early, you're going to start to see that starts changing and going more Dustin's way. But I think as Dustin's trying to walk him down and use his hands and really put some combos together, then big shots over the top are going to be a big threat. So it's going to be a very exciting fight because I guarantee you they're both going to bring it.
Joanna's constantly pressuring. Spinning back, that's it!
Carla Esparza and Weili. I think this is a great fight for Weili. I know they've been doing a lot of work at Bangtao. Shout out to Bangtao MMA. They got absolute savages going over there. They're growing so much. I'm very happy to see so many high-level fighters going there. I'm going to be going there end of the year as well. So they do a lot of wrestling. I know their wrestling is going to be on the top. Very explosive. She's very hard to hold down, and I think she's going to be a very hard fight for Carla Esparza. I think that Weili, no disrespect to the champ, but I think Weili will put a bit of a beating on her. To be quite honest, I think she's going to land heavy because, again, she's very explosive. I think she's going to land big. The takedown's not going to really be there for her. Even if she does clinch, I think Weili's going to be too powerful, too strong, and just going to... She's a little savage, man. I think she's going to break them grips straight away and then just put the hands. Even if it goes to the ground, I feel like she's going to end up on top. So Weili will end up on top, and there might be ground and pound and stuff like that. So I really think I can't see her losing in this one. I really can't. So I would... if I had to make a bet, I'd bet heavily on Weili. I think she's going to be too dominant. Now, let's get to the main event. Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira. Hey, legacy. I think this is a great fight for Israel. Perfect. Obviously, there's history there. It's a huge fight. Everyone wants to see it on a stacked card. This card's an incredible card. I love how people are doubting Izzy. I think this is a great fight. I've talked to Izzy a couple of times and the guys that have been training with him, and there's a new fire in the belly for him. There's something there. Like, I had some conversations and he is just on at the moment. I think this is good for him. It excites him. It's getting him out of bed and it's getting him doing his work. And we all know that we train hard, right? And he's putting the work in. Put it this way, this is how happy I am for him. I want to find out that Israel Adesanya is pound for pound number one. You know why? Because I know that means he wins on that fight this weekend. So I'm rooting for him to go out, win, take that pound for pound number one spot. You know what I mean? Love it. All good. I'm very happy for my boy because I know he's going to put on a great performance.
That is it! Wow! Still undisputed!
Pereira is very dangerous. I think Pereira is going to have big trouble. I don't think you can walk forward like he did in the last fights with Izzy, and like he has been seen in training clips, and even these guys that he's fighting, his last few fights in the UFC. You can't walk forward like that to Izzy. Yeah, you're dangerous. You might land some big hands, but you are going to eat some. The way that Izzy is with his distance control and what he sees and all that, I think it's going to be a very, very long night in the office for Pereira, and I think you're going to see a massive win from Izzy, and I can't wait for him to go out there and kick ass. So really looking forward to this one. I want you to even go back and watch their first couple of fights. Like Izzy, even when he got knocked out, Izzy was piecing him up. in that first fight, I had Izzy winning that first fight anyway. Very close, but you could see that he was a better fighter. Obviously, Pereira had big moments, but let's be real. I feel like Pereira's the same fighter that he was back then. Izzy is levels ahead of where he was back then. And this is MMA, smaller gloves. I think Izzy's just going to be too much, and I can't wait. He's on at the moment. He's going to kick ass. Can't wait for him to do that. Wish nothing but the boys from City, nothing but the best. It's going to be big wins from all of them and an incredible card. Make sure you tune in to UFC 280. You don't want to miss it. Enjoy.